Okay, picture this. You're out walking, maybe in the woods, and you see one, a tree, standing tall, but clearly dead.
Yeah. No leaves, bark might be coming off. Looks kind of finished.
Finished, exactly. Lifeless. Just decay waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit sad looking. That's the gut reaction, isn't it?
It really is. That's how most of us see them. Sort of like the end of the story for that tree. Ecological leftovers.
Well, hold on. Because diving into these sources, it completely flips that idea on its head. It's actually, well, it's kind of stunning.
Uh-huh.
That tree, it's not finished. It's not empty. Get this. It's often a bursting metropolis of activity, sometimes even more biodiverse, more packed with life than the living trees around it.
It's a huge shift in perspective, right? The sources showed that the tree's death isn't an ending for the wider ecosystem. It's actually a dramatic new beginning. It transforms.
Exactly. It becomes something else, something vital. So forget decaying husk. Think wildlife skyscraper. That's what the sources suggest.
Wildlife skyscraper. I like that.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing in this deep dive. We want to unpack that, challenge that old view, and show you why these standing dead trees, these snags, are absolutely essential, vibrant, dynamic.
Okay, so where do we start? The ecological side seems key. The sources really go into detail there.
Definitely. Let's talk habitat first. As that wood starts to soften up, it's not just rotting away passively.
No, it becomes prime real estate. Suddenly very desirable property in the forest neighborhood.
Buildable land, you could say, especially for birds that make cavities. Like woodpeckers, right? And some owls, chickadees. They're the pioneers.
They are. They do the initial construction, excavating those first homes right into the wood.
But here's the really cool part. Once they move out, those holes they made, they don't just sit empty.
Not at all. It's like leaving behind vacant apartments.
Yeah.
And there's a whole queue of tenants ready to move in. Things like squirrels, raccoons.
Bats needing somewhere to roost during the day.
All of different insects. The source material uses this great analogy like a multi-story apartment complex. Different species using different levels, constant turnover. It's really dynamic.
It is. But it's not just about finding a home, is it? The wood itself, as it decays, that becomes food.
A massive food source. You get all sorts of insects moving in, like beetles and their larvae munching away on that decomposing wood.
Which then feeds other animals. It kicks off a whole food chain reaction.
Exactly. Those insects become this incredibly concentrated, easy to get food source for birds that eat insects.
Yeah.
Insectivorous birds and small mammals too.
The sources called it a well-stocked pantry, which seems spot on. It's all right there.
Right there in the structure.
Yeah.
And that concentration of food, the insects, the small mammals using the cavities, it draws in predators.
Ah, right. So higher up the food chain.
Yeah, you'll often see hawks or owls hunting nearby, attracted by all that activity. Even, say, a fox or a weasel might check around the base for a meal. It creates this whole mini ecosystem.
And that's why the sources argue they can actually support more biodiversity overall compared to some living trees. It's that specific combination, isn't it? The softwood, the holes, the insects.
It's a unique niche. A living tree offers different things. Leaves, maybe nuts or fruit. But the dead tree offers this specific, incredibly valuable set of resources for a whole different community. It forces you to think about what life means in this context.
Yeah, the tree itself isn't photosynthesizing. It's dead in that sense.
But its physical form, its decomposition, is actively fueling and housing so much other life. It's a fundamental part of the living system.
And there's another layer, too, beyond the strictly ecological. The sources mention the aesthetic value, calling it nature's art gallery.
Which is a lovely way to put it, and it's true if you stop and really look at one.
Yeah.
The way it weathers, the decay, the fungi growing on it. It's not just breakdown, it's transformation. It sculpts the tree into these really unique shapes and textures.
You start noticing things, right? Like the intricate patterns where insects have bored under the bark that's now peeling away.
Or the way the wood grain gets exposed and weathered, and the colors, mosses, lichens. They can be surprisingly vibrant.
It's not just gray and brown. As the source puts it, each tree kind of tells a story visually. through its form, its texture.
The story of its life, yeah, but also a story of its incredibly important afterlife happening right now. It's beautiful and functional.
So bringing this back to you, the listener,
Mm.
what does this all mean? Hopefully it means the next time you see a standing dead tree,
Whether it's out on a big hike or just, in a local park.
you won't just see an ending. You'll see that bustling hub, that wildlife skyscraper. You'll see the crucial role it's playing, and maybe even notice some of that unique weathered beauty.
Seeing it not as a relic of the past, but as a vital piece of the present ecosystem.
Exactly. So thinking about all that hidden life, all that value
Mm.
in something we usually just label dead, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Here's a final thought to chew on. If we overlook so much complexity and beauty in a dead tree, what other parts of the natural world, things that seem mundane or decayed or just unremarkable, might actually be brimming with essential processes and hidden wonders, just waiting for us to look a little closer?